Dopo me timbacta se no vuoi, ti tomale ne palela, feno, kiko ham stato un trum, pam, sono doppia da dindo scala, nella dindo, gela boom.
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn, and today's deck is the very last standard deck from Bloomburrow Early Access. And I'm really excited to dig into this one, but I think I might even be more excited to start bringing you some of the newer decks that I've come up with since launch, and those will start dropping tomorrow. This deck is called Shooting Star, and the idea is we're taking the brand new Starfall Invocation, which is the new board wipe in white, and we're trying to turn it up to 11 and find the best cards to use with it, and we found the perfect win condition in Vren. So this is an Esper deck, and if you haven't put two and two together about why those two cards go together so well, I'm going to break that down in the deck tech in just a moment, but before we get to that, make sure you like if you haven't already. You guys liking every video has helped this channel to grow so quickly, and I appreciate it so much. We're well on our way to 11,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for doing that. Also, if you're new here, hit subscribe so you never miss an upload. Tons of crazy deck techs on the way. Tons of spoiler content lined up. We are less than a month out from when spoiler season for Duskmourn starts. And I know we just got Bloomburrow, but I can't help but be excited for Duskmourn. It's probably my most anticipated set because of the horror themes and just how dark it seems and some of the mechanics they've shown already. So if you're excited about Duskmourn like I am, let me know in the comments. But for now, this deck is wild, and we're going to break it down. Be sure to catch me live Monday through Friday over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/quarantinecapricorn, because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming, and I'm doing a ton of drafting over there. So I'll see you. Let's break down the deck. Alright, so this deck was super fun to put together. This one's called Shooting Star, and the idea here is we're using Starfall Invocation, a new 5-mana sweeper in white, destroys all creatures, but we also have the opportunity to gift a card to our opponent, let them draw a card, and if we do, then we get to take one of the creatures that we destroyed that was ours with Starfall Invocation and return it to the battlefield from the graveyard, which can be really, really devastating under the right circumstances. So the idea with this deck is we're trying to get Vren the Relentless into play so that we can sweep with Starfall Invocation, bringing it back, and then get an insane amount of value. Vren is 4 mana in the colors of Dimir for a 3/4 legendary rat rogue with Ward 2. If a creature an opponent controls would die, you exile it instead, and at the beginning of each end step, not just yours but also your opponent's, you create X 1/1 black rat creature tokens that get +1/+1 for each other rat you control, where X is the number of creatures your opponents controlled that were exiled this turn. So, if you have Vren on the battlefield and your opponent has a full board, you cast Starfall Invocation, you sweep their whole board, you kill your own Vren, but then Vren comes back because you gift the card, and then at the end of your turn it triggers, and every single creature that died got exiled with Vren's ability, and you get a rat token for every single one of them. And then each one of them is going to be bigger for every rat that you have, including Vren itself. So if your opponent had like 6 creatures on the field, you're going to get 6 rat tokens, and all of them are going to be 7/7s, and you're going to have the Vren. Not only that, but because Vren has Ward 2, it's a lot easier to play this on curve, and maybe your opponent's just 1 turn away from having the mana they need to actually remove it, and then they say go. Your next turn you drop the 5th land, play the Starfall Invocation before they can kill the Vren. So there is a little bit of nice protection built in there that can line up really well if you're on the play. If you're on the draw, maybe not so much. But what's cool about this deck is we're not entirely relying on the Starfall Invocation to make good use of Vren, because we're also running a ton of removal and also a ton of tokens to get extra value off of Vren's tokens as well, with some of the synergies we have baked into the deck. So let's start at the bottom of the curve really quick. We've got 4 Dusk Rose Reliquaries, because for 1 mana we can just sacrifice one of our are unimportant tokens, right? And just exile literally any artifact or creature for just 1 mana. And this deck has tons of tokens that are just waiting to be sacrificed for such a purpose. So really easy to just remove any threat we need to for just 1 mana. And since Vren does trigger on things being exiled, not just dying, that will count towards Vren and give you a rat token if Vren's on the field, which is really nice. In the 2-drop slot, we've got 4 Case of the Stash Skeleton, giving us some early aggro and some tokens that, again, we might need for some of the token synergies in this deck. And then if they kill the Case of the Stash Skeleton, or if we sacrifice it to something like the Duskrose Reliquary, then we solve the case, and at any point we can pay 2 mana, sack the case, and search for anything we want. So if we have the Vren, we can find our Starfall Invocation. Or if we have our Starfall Invocation, we can find the Vren, which is really nice, or just find anything else we might need in the moment. We're also running 4 Candy Grapple because, again, we have plenty of tokens that are very easy to sacrifice to the bargain here, and we can just -3/-3 or -5/-5 if we sack something to the bargain and get more removal. Like I said, the more removal we have, the easier it is to trigger the Vren. We get a Vren down and we start picking off their creatures with a Candy Grapple or a Duskrose Reliquary, and we start generating a bunch of rats. It's really hard for our opponent to catch up. Moving on to the 3-drop slot, we have 4 Caretaker's Talent. This is the primary reason we're trying to run all of this token stuff, because every time we create a token for the first time each turn, we'll get to draw a card. And this can actually draw us a ton of cards and get us a ton of gas over the course of the game. Case of the Stash Skeleton now draws us a card. Whenever Vren triggers, it now draws us a card. A bunch of the other cards we haven't talked about yet are going to create tokens that are going to draw us cards, and it can just get really crazy really quick. But also, we can pay just 1 mana and make a copy of any token, whether that be the skeleton token or a rat token, which will then make all of the rats that much bigger, or whatever the case may be. And then for level 3, we can pay 4 mana, level it up, and give all tokens we control +2/+2, which makes all of those rats even crazier, but also buffs all of our smaller creature tokens that we have, and sometimes that matters when we're trying to hold down the fort with blockers, such is the case with 3 Blind Mice. For 3 mana, we're creating a 1/1 white mouse creature token, so those mice tokens that we make will get buffed up to 3/3s if we have the Caretaker's Talent at level 3, which is nice. It makes it harder for our opponent to attack in and kill us. And then on Chapter 2 and Chapter 3, we can copy any token we want. So worst case scenario, we're making copies of that mouse token so that we can use them as chump blockers, and every time we do it, it's going to be able to trigger the Caretaker's Talent to draw us a card. And then on Chapter 4, creatures we control get +1/+1 and Vigilance, so sometimes that's enough to just swing in for an Alpha Strike, especially if we already have a board full of rats with Vren, which is really nice. Moving on, we have a couple other new cards. First of all, we've got Carrot Cake, comes down for 2 mana, immediately gives us a 1/1 White Rabbit creature token, which contributes to our token synergies and can draw us a card if we have the Caretaker's Talent in play, but it also scries us 1. And then when it becomes sacrificed, we get to make a rabbit creature token and scry 1 as well. We can sack it to gain life if we just need to drag out the game until we can get to our sweeper. Or we can sacrifice it to some of the other things like Duskrose Reliquary or the Candy Grapple to get value off of those cards. And when it becomes sacrificed, we still get the 1/1 rabbit, we still get the scry 1. It doesn't have to be sacrificed to the life gain ability in order to get those things. So there's some nice extra synergy and value there as well. And then the last card is another new card called Savor. It is just -2/-2 for 2 mana, which isn't that great, but it is instant speed, and the most important part about it is it gives us a food token. So it's a way for us to kill another creature while also giving us a food token that can come into play and actually trigger our Caretaker's Talent. And since this is an instant speed spell, we can actually trigger our Caretaker's Talent on our turn with one of our other token producers, and then on their turn, if we still have 2 mana held up, we can kill something with a Savor, make a food token, trigger another card draw on their turn, and then also have another food token to just use as sacrifice fodder for things like Candy Grapple and Duskrose Reliquary and whatever you want. So There's a lot of value to be had in this deck. The basic gist is we jam Vren, we use all of our targeted removal to just try and build up a board of rats, and if our opponent's board is bigger, we just sweep the whole thing. Vren comes back because of the gift of cards for Starfall Invocation, and we just recreate an entire huge board for everything we killed with Starfall Invocation. So it can be pretty wild. The mana is pretty particular to make 3 colors work without being slowed down too much. So if you're interested in the full mana base, you can check that out in the description. The whole deck list is there. But without further ado, let's check out the games. But it's hard. But thank you for the raid, my friend. I appreciate it. Alright, let's do this thing. We're going to keep 7. I got my second wind. Restless Anchorage. Here we go. We're going to do a little Concealed Courtyard. Play some Carrot Cake. Get ready to rock and roll. More removal. Love to see it. There is not a creature that is going to survive this board. I'm telling you right now. I am telling you right now. Shadowy Backstreet. Vren, I'm keeping you. We're going to wait. We're going to Savor at instant speed. We're going to wait until he saddles it, I think. That's the plan. Go ahead and saddle it. I want you to saddle it. Good boy. That's a good boy. $10 shorts a day. I do make a lot of shorts. That's not a lie. Alright. We're going to try and jam some Vren. We're going to swing. Is he going to survive? Probably not. We'll see what happens. I try. With the spoiler videos, I try to walk the line. Well, he didn't kill my stuff. That's good. That's very good. So we're gonna go Savor the Caustic Bronco. And we don't even have to sacrifice anything, right? We don't even have to bargain. Although we could sack the Carrot Cake. That's probably a good idea. Let's do that. Bargain. Let's kill the Mentor. Sack the Carrot Cake. Another Vren. You know what? He's probably gonna kill our Vren, so let's hold on to that just in case, shall we? Swing with Vren. Vren will trigger. We'll get some rats. Hell yeah, let's go. Vren's getting it done, guys. Alyssa. Cake. Cakewalk. Cakewalk here. Sack of food. Goodbye, Glissa. 3 blind mice. We don't want to trade our tokens. We don't want to do it. Just gonna wait or make another token. Vren. Vren control, baby. Here we go. Vine Lasher is not happy. Jaffer wants revenge. Revenge. Oh my god, look at all these Vrens. Look at all these Vrens. Let's make another one of those, shall we? Here we go. Demolition field. That's really rude. It's like really rude. I guess we want what? Probably an island. We're gonna create a whole bunch of problems for you, my friend. Nice. Very nice. Good game. We gotcha. Just didn't have any removal. Oh man, we're getting the raid from Jaffer. We were the kill shot, guys. We were the kill shot. We ended Jaffer's stream. He's just like, okay, I had enough. I had enough. Let's go watch him. No removal, Jaffer. You needed the removal, homie. I was so lucky you didn't have that removal. I had 2 more Vrens sitting in my hand, though. If you guys just came over with Jaffer, I'm Richie, aka Capricorn. Welcome once again. I try to walk the line. I just got done telling everybody that raided with that villain J. I don't like playing jank decks, and I don't like playing meta decks. I try really, really hard to find unique brews, but then fine-tune them so that they can stand toe-to-toe with the meta decks. That's my favorite thing to do. Ever since I used to play Standard physically back in the day at my LGS, and I would bring some rogue deck in that no one's ever seen, and all the big players would scoff at it and laugh at me and think it was shit, and then I would send them all packing and crying to their mommies, and it was the greatest feeling in the world to beat someone's meta deck that they worked so hard on, that they've practiced with 1,000 games, with a deck they've never seen that they scoff at and make fun of and then get their ass handed to them. So I try to take that same sentimentality into Arena. It's not quite the same because you don't see their face, right? You don't see the look on their face, but we try our best. Alright, I'm gonna keep this. Mini mid-range? Yeah, fair. Alright. We're gonna start with the Backstreet. Backstreet's back, alright. I think we're gonna need that Candy Grapple, so we're gonna hold on to it. Exactly, John. Exactly. You get it. You get it. Alright, we need to kill this thing. We need to kill it before it gets out of hand, so... Goodbye, Essence Channeler. Zoraline, sure. I think we're just gonna jam the Caretaker's talent, honestly. The question is, do we Vren? To Vren or not to Vren? That is the question. You got to 13 hours? Yeah, I'm going for 24. I'm trying. I am trying. Alright, we're going to crack the Fabled Passage. I think we're going to find a blue source. Just so that we don't have to take pain. The question is, do we jam out the Vren or not? I think we do. We really need to top deck a land, though. Really, really, really need to top deck a land. If we can top deck a land, he's going to be so upset. Hey, thanks, buddy. I appreciate the raid. If you guys don't know Jaffer, go give him some love. I am a frequent raider of Jaffer. Dallas, hell yeah. Classic. Classic. Someone fell down. That's unfortunate. We really wanted to kill it with our own Starfall Invocation. But it looks like that is not in the cards. Can't really kill anything, can we? I think our best bet is this. I think we just need to sack the carrot cake, honestly. I don't love it, but we'll pass the turn. We really needed to get to 5 to sweep. Yeah, Aliens is my favorite movie. Always has been. It's the perfect sequel. Like, Aliens is such a good sequel, there are things that they introduced in that movie that you don't even realize weren't a part of the lore when only the first Alien movie existed. You know? They just feel so perfect that it feels like it's always been there. Like the way the hive works. And the reproductive cycle and the stages of the aliens and all that. The queen. All that stuff. It's so perfect. Alright, I think we're dead. Pretty damn close to dead, right? There's a Vren. But we don't have time for Vren anymore. We just need the land. We need to Starfall. We need to Starfall, bro. Do you even Starfall, bro? That's fine. We're gifting nothing. I don't want anything from you. Go ahead, play your auger. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Alright, come on. Come on. Both James Cameron. James Cameron's the best at sequels. He really is. He just is. Hands down. Let me think. I think we just need to Starfall Invocation again. Which is quite the bummer. But we're not surviving if we don't, so let's just do it. And we're gonna need to top deck even more removal. I agree 100%, my friend. There's a video game coming out, I think next month. It's a Warhammer 40k game, and I never really got into Warhammer very much. I appreciate it. I've got some friends that got pretty deep into it, but, you know, very time-consuming hobby. But I do kind of like, it does pique my interest every now and again, and this new game's coming out, I think next month, Space Marine 2, and it's the first time that I'm like, I have to play something Warhammer 40k, because it looks like the closest thing to an Aliens video game without being an Aliens video game. It's like Gears of War, except it has that Aliens feel. They're getting swarmed and stuff. It just looks so fun. It doesn't necessarily have the horror aspect of Alien, which I loved in the Alien Isolation game, but it still looks awesome. It still looks really awesome. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we're gonna have to take damage. Tricky. So I don't think we can. Let's go, we'll go Savor. This guy. And then we'll Candy Grapple this guy. And then we will make a copy of the food token, because that's how desperate we are for food, for life. And we're going to try really hard to not die. Although I think we are going to die. He's going to attack with the Restless Fortress. I shouldn't have made a copy. I should have sacked this for life. Because he's going to attack with the Restless Fortress and then ping us with both Lunar Convocations. And we're toast. Damn it. Actually, we just died at the Fortress, right? Because it also hits us for a point. I got distracted talking about aliens. Alright, I think we're going to try to keep this. We can at least Savor on turn 2 and then follow that up with a Dusk Rose Reliquary. We're going to keep the land, for sure. But that's why my channel point redemptions, too, you probably noticed. If you look at my channel point redemptions, a lot of them are audio clips from movies, too. It's just a me thing. It's just a me thing. I grew up watching tons and tons of movies, and like me and my younger brother, we pretty much talk to each other in movie quotes. Everything's a reference to movie quotes, and that's just how my life has been. So alright, we're gonna kill the Essence Channeler, make a food token, play the island. I guess we just play the Caretaker's talent. I was canon. I spent most of my life being a full-time vocalist in a bunch of different bands, touring the eastern US and stuff like that. It was during quarantine, during COVID, that I got into streaming. Alright, we're gonna go like this. We're gonna make a copy of you, draw a card, and then we're gonna play Dusk Rose Reliquary, sack one of these, hit the Zor line. Looks good to me. Yeah, I was in a lot of different bands for many years, and then I segued that into a career in concerts, being a promoter and talent buyer. So I'd bring like 500 capacity tours to my state, and I did that right up until quarantine hit, and that shut down that whole business. And I still do it on the side, but I started, I guess I should probably kill some stuff, huh? Here, let's do this. Let's kill that, make a food token, draw a card. Play a land. Let's just Candy Grapple this guy before he can draw cards off of it. But when quarantine hit, I was basically on forced vacation. Couldn't put on concerts, so I was like, what do I do? I guess I could start streaming, but what game would people actually want to watch me play? And I'd played Magic my whole life. And I was like, well, obviously it would be Magic. So I started streaming Magic, and quarantine went for so long that it turned into a thing. So that is where I'm at. I guess we just play Vren, and we hope he doesn't have removal, right? Even if he does, we have Ward 2, so he's gonna have to wait to kill it. Yeah, I had a friend group that I played poker with for a while, actually. It was fun. We'd only throw in like $5. We'd all get together, throw in $5, and what we would do is $5 out of that pot would go away to like a yearly pot, and the rest of it would go to whoever won that night. And we'd get together every week. And then at the end of the year, we'd have like a big final game where you won the yearly pot. And that was fun. Well, not really in a situation where we can use the Starfall Invocation. I guess we'll just level this up, right? Although once we kill something with the Savor, we'll be able to draw again, which is nice. Yeah, I started during the dark. 94. I don't think I want to waste the Savor. I think I'm just going to thin out the deck with the Fabled Passage. Find probably a swamp. And I'll pass the turn. I'll wait until he plays more creatures before I Starfall Invocation. Lunar Convocation. I wonder if I should be playing that. We don't have a lot of ways to gain life. But it could be good as just a card draw engine. Alright, let's kill the bat. And draw a card. That seems fine. That was one of the cards that got me sucked into it. So when I first got into Magic, I got a boxed set my parents got me for Christmas. Because I saw it in a comic book store. And it looked cool, and I thought it was a board game because it was in like a board game looking box. I ended up getting it for Christmas. There's 2 decks inside, a pouch with glass beads for life counter and that sort of thing. And me and some friends of mine played the hell out of those 2 decks. And we didn't know at the time that you could change the decks. That you could rearrange what cards were in what decks, and you could like buy packs of cards and get new cards that you didn't have yet and customize your decks. We didn't know any of that. We just thought there was just these 2 decks. We played them against each other a whole bunch, and that was that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sack one of these to gain life. I'm gonna keep the rest of them. So after about 6 months of playing a bunch of it, we got kind of sick of playing the same stuff, and I didn't touch it for like a year or two after that. And then one day I was in middle school, and I was in the cafeteria, and I saw some other kids playing that game that I played from a year or two ago. And I was like, what's going on? What is... I've never seen these cards before. What are these cards? And that's when I realized there were more cards. And there were cards that you didn't even know existed. And you could go and get packs, and you could customize. And so I got really intrigued. I started to get into it more. Still not like crazy into it, but I, you know, picked up some packs. I dusted off the old decks, started checking it out, started trying to rearrange decks and play with my buddies again a little bit. And then my school did this thing called, like, it was like clubs or something. Every Friday they would reduce every class, every period in school by 5 minutes, and then at the end of the school day on Friday they would have an extra period that was all of that saved up time, and it was like a club, and they had like tons of different clubs, and one of them was Magic Club. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I'll try that, I guess. I showed up to Magic Club, and my friend, one of my childhood friends, was there that I didn't know played Magic. And I walked in, and I sat down and I watched him play. And he had a breeding pit out. And I was like, I have that card. That card sucks. Why would you use breeding pit? It makes O1s. They're useless. Why would you ever play that? That's stupid. Then he plays Lord of the Pit. Right? And his upkeep comes along and he has to sack a creature. And he sacks an O1. And little Richie's light bulb brain just exploded. And that was it. That was the moment. That was the moment. I was hooked. That was it. That's all it took. I was like, the possibilities are endless. I just have to be smarter than everyone else and figure out ways to combine cards that no one's thought of. And it was over for me then. That was it. That's all it took. Restless Fortress. You do you, buddy. That's fine. We're racing at this point. And I got some Menace bad boys. I ain't worried about it. It's fine. Wait, I can block with this? It doesn't... I can block with it? I could block with the copy? Oh, because then you suspect it, but the copy of the token isn't... I mean, I'm not going to, but that's dope. This one isn't suspected. It doesn't have Menace. Okay. Yeah, it was a pretty rad combo. Alright, let's sack this. Let's get a land. Our last basic. Dusk Rose Reliquary. Alright, we're gonna swing. I think we Starfall Invocation here to turn on Case of the Stash Skeleton. I think that's right. Because we have a second one. I think that's just right. Dude, Sarah Angel is perfect. Perfection. Makes me so mad that power creep has made that card irrelevant. What a beautiful card. One of my first ever decks was an 𝑒𝐻𝐻𝑒𝐻 deck before it was called 𝐿. And I ran 4 Sarah Angels and 4 Sengir Vampires, 4 White Knight, 4 Black Knight, 4 Unholy Strength, 4 Holy Strength, I think. That was a fun deck. My best friend at the time that I played most of my games with, this kid named Andrew, his first combo deck was a land destruction deck with 4 Dingus Eggs. He found the Dingus Eggs at a flea market. We used to go to the flea market, and there was a booth that would sell like magic cards and stuff. I remember Chronicles was the new set at the time. And he made a land destruction deck with Dingus Eggs. And back then, we always tried to do like the biggest, craziest stuff, so the decks weren't fast, you know? Every game took a while. Let's see, what do we want? I mean, we want to kill the Deep Cavern Bat, but we need value. We need value that can get us back in this game. I think we take a chance. And we jam the Vren. He's probably got removal, but I think we gotta try. Dingus Egg, whenever a creature goes to the graveyard, its owner takes 2 damage. Or not a creature, a land. Whenever a land goes to the graveyard, its owner takes 2 damage. So he just destroy lands, play like Sinkhole and Stone Rain. And drag the game out, make it take forever for you to do what you're trying to do, till eventually he can get down a Dingus Egg, and then 2 Dingus Eggs, and then keep destroying your lands, hit you for 4 each time, and then eventually you die. And obviously, if any of us were playing a really fast deck, an aggro deck, like, it would have been easy to get around it, but nobody built aggro decks back then. All I need is for Vren not to die. Damn it, he's hitting my Starfall Invocation. It was gonna be perfect, guys. It was gonna be perfect. We would have killed all 3 of his creatures. Our Vren would have come back and made 3 rats. We are gonna sacrifice one of these food tokens to gain some life.
Let's roll!
Thank you for the follow, Platinum Caller, and also Attila the Fun. I missed your follow, but I appreciate it. Alright, let's get a little bit of life here. We still have 1 token in case we need it. Carrot cake. It had to be carrot cake. At least we can scry. Get out of here. Get out of here. I said get out of here. Well, does he want his Zora line to die? think he does. I think he lets it through. Or maybe he just chumps with a bat. You could do that. Okay. I guess it was good to attack then. We'll end the turn. We're probably going to use Mirex to make a token. We get a rat. That's good. He's drawing more cards. He's down to 6, guys. Come on, removal. Just need some removal. My first crazy combo deck was Kismet and Stasis. That took forever to build. But what's cool is I thought of that before it was like a known thing. I came up with it on my own, and then later found out that like lots of other people came up with it. Hands down my favorite deck from the early days though. Hell yeah, you're merfolk. Hands down my favorite deck from the early days though was my Imperial Armor deck. Imperial Armor and Land Tax. Awesome. Okay, that's 8. I need to make sure I keep the option open to draw a card. I mean, we're not dying, right? We go to 8. Has to end. I lose 1 life to Lunar Convocation. Sacks a dude. I guess we'll make a Mirex token. We Dusk Rose Reliquary. Sack the Might. Get you. Then we Starfall. We let you draw a card. Get back Vren. And then we pass the turn. Vren triggers and we get 8 9/9s. That seems fine. We did the thing, guys. We did the thing. The whole point of the deck. Does he have a sweeper? If not, he's gonna be real sad. Stream of Life. Stream of Life was awesome. Dark Star Augur. We only need to hit with 2. Sack a creature. Greed's Gambit. That's what you get for being greedy. Bananas, dude. Absolutely bananas. How about another one? How about we buff the team? How about we Dusk Rose Reliquary, sack you, exile your lifelinker, and then swing for like 100 damage. How about that, Denji? How about that? I got a question, Denji. You like apples? That's how you like them apples. So, Vren is a little bit cute. I think with enough testing we could come to a version where we can make Vren a little more consistent by having bigger threats earlier that we force our opponent to waste their removal on, or by having other things in the deck that can kind of like, we play Vren, they kill Vren, we bring Vren back, they kill Vren, we bring Vren back, and then they run out of removal and then we Starfall Invocation, like that kind of thing. But it's early access, so I still think it's pretty good for where it's at for early access. We're gonna keep this, and let's just give it a go. Early removal, let's keep it. Let's keep it. Very, very slow start though. All tap lands. It's okay though, we'll keep 3 blind mice. Battle Mouse. Alright, Fabled Passage. We're going to play Savor on the Battle Mouse, make sure he doesn't get the cost reduction. And we're just going to pass. It's basically just an Orzhov control deck that splashes blue for Vren. And just uses a ton of removal. We don't need the Starfall Invocation. We could just get out Vren and then use our targeted removal to just start picking stuff off and make rat tokens. And that's fine too. But the Starfall Invocation's like the big WoW play. Alright, I think we're gonna get blue to make sure we can play Vren on 4. Alright. Do we 3 blind mice? Or do we kill the Heartfire hero? Or do we Dusk Rose Reliquary? You know what? I think we do this. And I'll play Case of the Stashed Skeleton. I want him to waste his mana equipping the Crag Flame to the Heartfire hero so that I can get a tempo advantage. We can still kill it with the Savor after he equips it. But then he had to waste his mana equipping it, and then when he wants to re-equip it to something else, he has to waste his mana again. It's kind of what we want, so we're going to let him do that. Do we just play Vren? Maybe we just play Vren. I think we just try to play Vren. Swing for 2 because Menace. My dog is snoring because he's so comfortable. Right, Bandit? Bandit. He's just snoring away. Another Mabel. Oh, you can only keep one, buddy. Alright, we really need to, we really need a sweep. Don't we? Well, we've got Savor. But Savor's not enough on its own. Is it? Let's swing with this, and if we're lucky, he'll try to block it. No dice. Let me think. Guess we can make a token creature to block with. And we can hold up Savor to use on his turn. Might not be enough. We might be dead here. If we had had a Starfall Invocation, we would have won. Hands down. Vren comes back, makes 4 rats. Pfft, game over. Offspring 2. That's a bit much. Do we just kill this guy? I think we have to just kill this guy. That's one less thing getting trample or double strike. I don't think it's gonna matter. I think he's just got too much. But we'll see. If we can stay alive and top deck a Starfall Invocation, we'll be fine. Wait, you're only attacking with this guy? Trample and double strike. Means we take 6? I mean, we have to block here. But we're not dead. Why did he only attack with that? It's so weird. That's so weird. That's so weird. I don't understand. End the turn. 3 blockers and 3 life. It's not going to be enough. Vigilance and haste. Good God. Boston Terriers are good at snoring. I guess... I mean, we got trample, but we don't have double strike, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. We can't block the tramplers. We just gotta block, like, the biggest non-tramplers. Right? And gain some life. And we're still dead. Yeah, we just couldn't draw our sweeper, unfortunately. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.